love Thief! Very recently, I played, well, not very recently, actually, this has been going on for like 6 months now. Like about 6 months ago, I played this game that you're seeing in the background right now, Thief the Black Parade, for the first time. It was kind of everybody's first time, as it launched like 9 months ago, end of last November. And what Black Parade is a mod, a 25-hour mod, 10 missions, a whole game, effectively, that is a mod for the original Thief Guild. And Thief is something that I never played before. I tried to play it in college once or twice, and I just never really got past the first mission, effectively, because I was not ready for it, I don't think, because as a series, as a game, it requires such focus, attentiveness. You really got to be ready for it and ready to play it on its own terms, and you got to be really into it, and it takes time to get into it, so I just wasn't, in the mood. But after playing the Black Parade, I am officially a Thief convert. So upon finishing the Black Parade, probably in February or March, I moved on to Thief Gold, the original game, to finally give it its due, and then after fucking playing that for like 25 hours, finishing that as well, I moved on to the Metal Age, the sequel, and yeah, this has been the year of Thief for me. Like, I am so enraptured with this world and this series, and I've played 3 whole games now, and I feel like I'm just kind of done with phase 1, effectively, because I still have Deadly Shadows, which is the 3rd game, made by a different studio, which is really interesting. The original studio, Looking Glass, closed down after Thief 1 and 2, because they were just, like, in debt, couldn't stay open or some shit. But it seems like Deadly Shadows is like a faithful continuation of what Looking Glass was originally going to do with Thief 3, to some extent at least. But yeah, and then there's fan missions, there's whole other giant mods. There's one called T2X, that it looks to be kind of like the Black Parade, where it's its whole own game, effectively made with the Thief engine in the Thief world, with its own special tools and enemy types and story and cutscenes and all that kind of shit. So even though I've played, Black Parade, Thief Gold, and Metal Age, I still have more shit to get through, and I'm so fucking excited. What I'm doing today is I'm going through and making a tier list of all of the missions from Thief Gold, which is Thief 1, Thief the Metal Age, Thief 2, and the Black Parade, the giant 25-hour mod. But yeah, let's just get into this fucking tier list that I feel like maybe nobody's gonna understand or care about, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm fucking hyped about this shit. And here is the list. Okay, so it goes from the best to great to good to meh to anti-fun. And there are definitely some anti-fun Thief missions, but we'll get to those. So I'm gonna start this out just by doing it the way that I played the games. So we're gonna go Black Parade, Gold, and then Metal Age, because that was the order in which I played the games, which is a very weird order, I understand, but I would also recommend that you do it that way, personally, because I feel like Thief, the Black Parade, is like the perfect gateway drug into this franchise, because it has a lot of modern design sensibilities. It's really large in scale. When you compare the way it looks and feels to the original Thief from '98, it's fucking night and day. So Black Parade really does feel like a 2024 game. Start with Black Parade, honestly, if you've never played this franchise. I would say do that, because Thief Gold and Metal Age are both very old games, and I think it's easiest to lure someone in with Black Parade, because it's got a lot of modern sensibilities, but with the old coat of paint. So the Black Parade's first mission is, right here, Return to the City. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in Great. I think most of Black Parade's missions are going to end up in Great, and the best, the top 3 tiers in the list. Because there really isn't a bad mission in the bunch. I don't think anything goes down to meh. No, maybe I should change that to aight. Meh feels very 2005. So this first mission is just it's it just drops you right into the city. The city in Thief is called The City, and it's a lot of levels in the franchise. These 3 games take place in the streets of the city, of you wandering from house to house through the streets, in the alleys, under the sewers, and this is just a great fucking example of that. It is like the peak of city missions, effectively. You spend the mission going from like one occupied district to a kind of district that has been abandoned and filled with like rogues and criminals. There's still like, you know, Hammerites, which is the local religion, and guards in that district, but it's like overrun by criminals and taken over. So you're going over there to meet like a fence or an old friend or something like that. It's been like 7 months since I played this game, so do pardon me if I fuck some shit up. But yeah, it's just a great, solid opening level with like lots of crazy branching paths, a variety of environments, like, you know, upper rooftops, fancy buildings and manors that you can sneak into just almost completely optionally. You can get great vistas by going up through this one manor and then getting a look down at the city and then the streets that you're walking through, and it's just so good. And there's multiple routes to take to get to the less occupied part of the city, the more roguish part of the city. So it's not super adventurous in its like design or concept, overall premise, but it's done so well that it just sets the stage perfectly for the rest of the Black Parade. So yeah, it's great. I love it. Black Parade Mission 2, Where Old Faces Fade. This mission, I think the whole community really loves it and tends to put it as like maybe the best mission of this pack. But I've only played it once, the one time. And so, like, I don't know. It was my second Thief mission ever. And the mod DB description of the Black Parade explicitly says you should probably play Thief 1 and 2 before getting into Black Parade because it's kind of more, the levels are more difficult. I didn't really find that to be the case in retrospect in a lot of ways, but there are some points, like this being mission 2, after I'm just learning about how Thief works entirely. Like, yeah, it's a big, complicated mission, and there's, like, one element of you getting to a certain part of the manor that you're thiefing that I just couldn't find. I couldn't figure it out, and I ended up running around the mansion for, like, I don't know, like an hour. And that ended up being a little bit frustrating. So that's just my completely subjective experience, but otherwise, once I got to where I needed to go, my mind got blown. Like, there's a couple moments in this mission where it turns and becomes something else in a way. I mean, it's very much like, where is it? A mission from the first game that everybody loves called The Sword. It's effectively Black Parade's The Sword. I'm gonna leave it in great. I'm not gonna put it up to the best, where I feel like a lot of people would put it, because I feel like there's, as far as I could tell, there's only one place, one entry point to the under mansion of Where Old Faces Fade, and I would like if there were more than one, but in all likelihood, there is more than one. Actually, I'm thinking about it now, and yeah, I'm pretty sure there's at least 2, but I just missed them both for like an hour, because I was a fucking noob and didn't understand exactly how much these games like to fucking hide things from you, but you are a thief, so why not? But yeah, the twist in the back half, I guess I'll just kind of spoil it. The manor becomes different. There's sort of a second manor built under the manor, which is like a pagan worship thing, and the manor starts to turn weird. It turns into like an overgrown forest, and there's magic involved, and there is a place, a totally optional place underneath the manor, further underneath the other place, the pagan sub-manor, where you can go down and down and down into this place, and the further you get down, you're crawling through like weird old tunnels and dirt, and you're getting deeper under the earth, and you reach a point that is a recreation of the place you came in, like the opening room of the manor, but it's like a mile underground, and it's like more evil, and there's skeletons, and it's like, what the hell is going on? What is this? What is happening right now? So it's a really cool mission, a huge manor with its like own distinct personality, with a lot of twists and a lot of just cool shit going on. So it's great. Mission 3 is Trial of Iron. Now, I know a lot of people would probably put this in good, because it is sort of like a more traditional church mission. Thief has a lot of church missions. Trial of Iron is very much like a sort of classic thief formula mission. Infiltrate a church, steal something from the church. But this is the mission, for me, subjectively, where the Black Parade and Thief as a whole finally, like, clicked. 4 or 5 hours in, after the first 2 missions, enjoying them tentatively. Like, oh, this is really interesting. This is the one that I spent, like, 4 hours in, and I just fell in love. Still, in retrospect, I think it's, like, it's so good. Oh my god, the level design is just like peak for Black Parade, peak for Thief. It's such a realistically rendered church. The scale is so huge. It's got its own like common grounds. It's got a back area where the people sleep, where the guards sleep, and where the church attendees sleep. It's got a tower that leads up to where the main church guy, I don't know who the fuck that is, the deacon, the pope, I don't know what fucking church word he is, but it's where he lives. It's got like so much going on. It's got an outer area, an inner area, the main church area, which is multi-layered. It's just like, it is Thief level design in its purest form, and it was just like riveting. I was so fucking in it for so many hours, and I just like combed that place. And there's also a great sub-objective of like infiltrating and stealing from the churches, their vaults effectively. And it was a lot of fun doing that too. So yeah, I love Trial of Iron. I think it's great. Mission 4 is Death's Dominion, putting that in the best. It's so fucking good. There's a mission in the first game, Thieves Guild, that's called Down in the Bonehoard, and it's kind of a controversial mission in the community. A lot of people love it, a lot of people do not love it. I'm kind of in the middle. I think it's a great idea that is executed shoddily. But Death's Dominion is Down in the Bonehoard, but done 20 years later with 20 years of immersive sims, like, at its back. All the lessons learned from Thief 1 and 2, and also designed by people from Arcane. So, yeah, Black Parade was designed by a whole bunch, I think like 7 or 8 fan mission creators for the Thief series, and one of them was a person who worked at Arcane. A person who worked on, like, Dishonored and shit. Understandable why it's so good. Death's Dominion is very much just like a tomb exploration mission, and the tomb, it's so vertical. You're going down and down and down from level to level to level, and you just feel trapped and lost. But it's still so open and so dynamic. The different places you find, the lesser tombs, the fancier, more expensive tombs, the parts of the whole area that have collapsed into the earth and have created tunnel systems, and water is leaking in from like local rivers and shit. It's so big. It's full of so many secrets. There's a secret in this mission that I've never found on my 2 playthroughs of it, where you can find a holy sword. You gotta like complete puzzles and look around and loot a holy sword that you can keep with you for the rest of the Black Parade. It's like an unlockable weapon that you can find, totally optional, and I think it kills zombies in the same way that holy water arrows do. So it effectively gives you infinite holy water arrows if you do what needs to be done. Yeah, that's just a totally optional thing in this huge mission. Death's Dominion is a top tier, incredibly replayable mission that I fucking adore. Mission 5 of Black Parade, the Brand. I'm gonna put this in good. That's the first mission that I hit that I was like, I liked that. I wasn't head over heels for it or like super engaged at like on a mental level, but it is a really important mission for the game itself. It's like the narrative turning point. That's good. That's cool. That was interesting. That was an interesting hook while I was playing it, because you get the whole premise of the mission is you infiltrate an abandoned district of the city that went down because I think plague or some shit. It's a medieval thing. It was probably a plague. But yeah, this district was cordoned off, and within the district is an old manor that is like a super haunted mansion. You have to go in there and grab something for the people you're working for. I think the city portion is pretty good. I think the manor is pretty good, and the narrative here is really important, and that's kind of what holds up the level, I think. Otherwise, I think it's like, kind of a standard Thief experience. It is, of course, rich with detail, as everything in the Black Parade is. And I just have a lot of distinct memories from it. as I do with all Black Parade missions. So I can't put it below good, but it doesn't reach the heights of these other 4 missions. So that's where that lands. Mission 6, kept away from view. That's going in great. Part of me, like, you know, there's a little bit that's just good, but it belongs in great, I think, overall. The part of me that wants to put it in good is just because a lot of Thief missions have a sort of precursor area before you get to the main infiltration target, like, you know, city streets and then Manor. And the Manor is your real target. That's the real mission with all the intricate stuff, but they lead you in with a kind of a prelude through the city streets as you get prepared. And kept away from view's prelude area, the city streets of this mission, it's huge. It's like a mission unto itself, a mission from the original games all on its own, which, you know, sounds great, but as far as I can tell, there's only one way, one very hidden way to get to where you need to go to get to the main portion of the mission, which is a keeper hideout. The keepers are a faction in the Thief universe. There's like the pagans, the Hammerites. The Hammerites eventually evolve into the mechanists, and then there's the keepers, who kind of keep the peace, effectively. They're like a shadow organization who tries to keep balance between the pagans, which are like, you know, woodsy, demon, god worshipping creatures, people. They're people, but they worship creatures. And there's the Hammerites, who are like this world's version of established religion, organized religion. How did I even get here? The keepers, the keeper hideout that you're getting to at the beginning of this mission, it's so hidden away, and the first objective is to follow a person to the keeper hideout, but I lost that person on my first playthrough, on my only playthrough of this mission. So I know you're supposed to like tail them effectively until they get to where they're going and they lead you to that point, but I lost the person I was supposed to tail, and the mission did not end. The mission didn't fail me. Which is very cool, sick as hell, but it also did leave me like in the wind, and unaware of where to go. So I spent like, I don't know, must have been like an hour and a half just struggling through this huge portion of the city, these blocks on blocks with buildings and guards and oh my god, so many places, only to eventually find the entrance to the keeper hideout in like a really specific place inside a building, inside a specific room with a hidden switch, and activate something over there, and it's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. It wasn't like a satisfying moment. It was like a, okay, that was it. I really wish I'd followed that person. But once I got into the keeper hideout, it immediately became one of my favorite missions in the pack. Like, the keeper hideout, the main place you spend the mission in, really, is so good. It's so cool. It's so well designed. It does a lot of great stuff with light. Like, it's a very dark place, and so there's lots of shadows to hide in. The unique enemies of the keepers were great, and the mission ends with one of the best sequences in the Black Parade, where you have to go into the keepers' library. The library where they keep their prophecies and their books on the future and the past. And there is something waiting for you in that library. And apparently it's a thing from Deadly Shadows, the third game, which I haven't played. And of course I hadn't played it when I was playing Black Parade for the first time, it being my first Thief experience. And so I was just walking through this abandoned, dark library deep underneath the cobblestones of the city. It's quiet, it's abandoned, there's no one in there. People don't just go into this library to read. This is like a special sacred place. And I'm walking through, it's quiet, it's so multi-layered, it's a huge library. And suddenly I hear a child talking to me, like a little girl. What? Who is this? And she's speaking, and my immediate instinctual reaction is, I need to stay the fuck away from this person. Whatever this person is, it's not a girl. It's not a human. And so she's like creeping through the halls, and I stepped on some marble, and my foot clicked, and I caught her attention, and I just couldn't hide. I tried to hide in the shadow. She's coming right towards me, this little girl with pallid skin and black hair. I got caught. And this girl started to scream. And the scream turned into a roar. And I just fucking ran. I turned the fuck around and got the fuck out that bitch. I started running way up the staircases, just fleeing from whatever this thing was. I didn't even see the transformation, but I know that girl transformed into something much larger, much more horrifying. And all around me, the statues that occupy this library started to speak and move. All of the statues around me started animating and following me with swords and speaking in the most horrifying, distorted, monstrous voices. And I got to the top of the library. I grabbed the book I needed to grab. I just wrenched like a hidden book to open a secret exit. I just dipped out as fast as I could. And it was fucking insane. It was so intense. And so, you know, despite me not really being frustrated basically with the beginning of this mission, the outer area before the Keeper hideout and before the library inside of the Keeper hideout, the hideout itself and the library sequence more than made up for the stuff that happened before. So that's why it lands in great. It is great. I want to replay it soon. It's so good. It's just barely under the best. It would be in best if I had perhaps followed the tailing target properly and gotten to where I needed to go. So I'm excited to do that on my next playthrough to not lose that person. Yeah, kept away from view is really fucking good. Mission 7, The Long Shadow Falls. You know, this is actually one that's gonna land in meh for me. Honestly. Yeah, there is a Thief Black Parade mission that lands in meh, and it's Long Shadow Falls for me. I know a lot of people did like it, but it is very much so just a classic Thief Mansion infiltration mission. And this late in the campaign, after it's done so many different, unique, interesting, compelling things that are like twisty and subversive, just having a standard mansion infiltration just didn't do anything for me. The mansion is also filled with electric lights, and you know, you can't shoot those with arrows. You can only use the custom tool made for Black Parade for them, which is like a anti-light thing that turns off lights for 10-15 seconds maybe, then they come back on. So having all of the bright lights in the absence of shadow, and there's a lot of marble floors in the mansion, it's just all ends up making it kind of frustrating and kind of, you know, just tedious. I ended up doing a lot of killing after a certain point. And there is one objective that you have to pick up a key, pick off a key, pickpocket a key from a certain guard that's doing the rounds upstairs with a little dog by his side. And I didn't really realize that that's what I was supposed to do for a while, so I kind of just wandered around figuring things out. That's a big part of Thief, honestly, is trying to figure out these really obtuse objectives. Black Parade does a great job de-obtusifying a lot of their objective work. The first and second original Thieves, my god, there's some objectives, we'll talk about them, that like, I don't know how fucking anybody would ever have figured out how to do this shit without a guide or without an online community. And there was an online community. You can literally look up threads from like 2002 that still exist on the original TTLG Thief forums. So that's just fun to look into. Point is, Long Shadow Falls is like filled with some obtuse design, some obtuse objectives, and there's one little detail. I was really excited because one of the main objectives in this mission is to take a body and frame somebody by putting a body in their manor, in their secret torture dungeon, like a body of a priest, to get the person, the target, arrested. I was excited to have to carry a body around with me through a mansion while doing an objective. Like, I thought that was a really cool idea, a really interesting challenge. But after spending about 30 minutes doing that, getting into the manor through this underground kind of wine cellar area, then moving my way up through the search around to where I was supposed to put this body, I realized that the place to put the body was the place that I came in. Like, it was the wine cellar area, the first place that I got into in the mission. And so, it just undercut that whole objective premise. I was having a lot of fun carrying this body with me through the mansion and also like dropping it in corners, doing stuff, picking it back up, moving, continuing to explore. But then I just realized like I didn't need to do any of that. Like the mission is designed in a way where you can get to the point where you need to drop the body in 5 minutes. Like it's like one of your 2 or 3 entry points. Just boom, you're there. Your objective's complete. You don't have to carry this body anymore anywhere. And so like, I don't know. Why not design the mission in a way where you have to do that, where you have to play differently? So yeah, that was just a disappointing moment for me. That just further de-escalated my enthusiasm for what was already a sort of generic mansion mission. Not a big fan of Long Shadow Falls. Mission 8, Jaws of Darkness, GOAT, going in the best, maybe my favorite mission from the whole campaign. I'm in the middle of, and as usual, don't take my word for this, I may never finish this video, but I'm writing a video about this mission right now. Because it's the best mission I've played, the most interesting mission I've played in any game in, like, maybe years? It's so compelling. It's so, oh god, and it just subverts the Thief formula completely. It's not non-linear, it's linear, which, you know, I feel like a lot of Thief fans would be like, why do you want a linear mission in a Thief game? But if it's like Jaws of Darkness, then I'll fucking take it, because Jaws of Darkness is from start to finish. It's just introducing new things, new styles of gameplay, new puzzles, new enemies, new vistas and views to gaze upon and be wowed by. It's just a non-stop fucking thrill ride, like from start to finish for 3 hours. Yeah, it's just brilliant. It's one of the best levels I've played in anything in quite a while. And I guess I won't elaborate much further, because I guess I kind of want to save those thoughts for a real video, you know. So it was just riveting. Arcane Sanctum, Mission 9. I'm gonna put that in good. I think it's good. The premise of the mission is like, you know, I gotta go talk to a wizard and try to get some help from him, and he turns out to be a dick. The flow of the mission is city streets, wizard compound, get to the top, talk to the wizard, get down, leave. The wizard school, or like kind of, I don't know, compound really, is cool. It's good. It's a wood, marble, it's a place, you know, nothing crazy. But the opening area is super cool. It's like, takes place in the city streets while there's like a celebration going on, some kind of holiday. There are fireworks above you. There are people in the streets dancing, doing the sickest dances you've ever seen with their PS1 models and their rickety ass fucking skeletal rigs, playing music. It's really lively and fun to see the city in this state. But yeah, then the wizard compound, it's all right. It's good. You meet the wizard. He's a dick. It's a fun conversation. And then you leave. Just stealing everything you can from these assholes. And there's also a giant monster in the basement, so that's fun. I like the giant monster in the basement. I ended up just drinking a bunch of strength potions and killing him violently. You know, it was a pain. He killed me a bunch before, but I brute forced that motherfucker and killed him after like 100 swings, which is fun. That whole monster sequence is good, and it's a good idea, but I don't think overall it redeems the mission and brings it to great or the best. I just think it's a really solid one. Just like the brand. Last mission, the Black Parade. This one also goes in meh, actually. So there are 2 meh missions in the Black Parade. I just didn't find the level design all that compelling, and the mission objectives of getting these keys to keep ascending the Necromancer Tower inside this black void of death in a different dimension. You know, it sounds cool when I say it like that, but actually executing it was just kind of tedious. There are some really cool monsters at the base of the tower, just shrouded in darkness. These really weird, monstrous, huge kind of bug people, I think. I could barely see them. It was really dark. I think it's kind of just the immersive sim curse. The last level has to be bad. It's just how it is. Dishonored's last level, I mean, it's good. I like Dishonored's final level. Prey's finale is kind of mediocre. Dishonored 2's final level is just not good. It's the immersive sim curse where the game has to end on some kind of bum note. But even then, a bum note for the Black Parade is still better than 90% of all games out there. That's just how it is. That's the Black Parade. 3 missions in best, top tier, S tier, 3 in great, 2 in good, 2 in meh. So a pretty balanced experience, but, you know, definitely leaning more towards great or incredible. Let us move on to Thief Guild, the original, the old ass bitch. Lord Bafford's Manor. First Thief mission ever. I'm gonna put it in good, which I think might be blasphemous for some people. After playing the Black Parade, man, dropping into Lord Bafford's Manor, I'm sorry, it's kind of rough. If I had started, you know, with gold and jumped into Lord Bafford's Manor, then, you know, it might be in great, because it is a very good mission, and it's just open enough, it's just condensed enough. It's like the perfect size to introduce you to what kind of game Thief is and its basic mechanics. So it's a very, very good starter mission, but, you know, overall, in terms of the missions currently present in the list and everything that's coming, I think good is a reasonable place for it. Break from Cragscleft Prison. I did not really enjoy Cragscleft. It's just something about the level layout. I thought the mines you go through, I mean, this is where I discovered exactly what the kind of biggest problem of Thieves Guild in particular's level design would be, which is their maze-like tendencies and their use of repeating textures in maze-like levels, which makes shit just visually so samey and confusing. Not all the time, but a good portion of the time, and you see that a lot in Cragscleft and in Bonehoard. I think it's cool how there are like the various prison cell areas, and you gotta find one guy in one cell, and it's not like too challenging, but it's challenging enough. I don't think the mines that lead into the prison are particularly interesting or super well executed. It is what it is. It's a fine level. I wish they'd started out with something a little stronger. Bafford's Manor is, I think, notably superior to it, but it's the first big mission, so you know it gets some props for that at the very least. I feel like I'm kind of in the minority here. Down in the Bonehoard, controversial mission. I kind of want to put it in good. I kind of want to put it in meh. It's between these two for me. Very between these two. Fuck. My heart is pulling me to meh. I think these two, one after the other, are just like having Cragscleft Prison and then Bonehoard, one after the other, two super maze-like areas. It's just like kind of agonizing, honestly. It's a big bump, a big like hill to surmount, I think, when playing this game for the first time. If I hadn't played Black Parade before this and was like really in it and really excited to experience the original 98 experience of Thief, I might have given up on like one of these two levels. It might have been like the end for me. Bonehoard does have like a bunch of cool monsters, zombies. I did not know there are none of these motherfuckers in Black Parade. I didn't know dinosaurs existed in Thief. The Burricks. I love the Burricks. I don't know why the fuck they took them out in Metal Age. I love the Burricks. There's goddamn dinosaurs with weird hair. There's dinosaurs with toupees in this game, this franchise. It's so weird. And so that was like like a big moment for me. Like, what the fuck? Why are these dinosaurs here? So it stays out of anti-fun, and it like inches towards good, specifically because it introduces the fact that fucking dinosaurs are in this goddamn world. But yeah, it is very maze-like. It is filled with repeating textures. And yeah, it just ends up being kind of frustrating in how big it is, how confusing it is. Maybe I'll like it more on a second playthrough. Next up is Assassins. I'm gonna put Assassins in good, mostly just because I don't remember a whole lot of it. I've played like 40 of these missions in a couple months. They're kind of blurring together at this point, but I remember Assassins begins with a great little sequence of a guy. You're in a shop and you're about to talk to a guy, and an arrow just flies through the wall and kills him. And a bunch of people are standing outside. They're like, "Oh, we got him! We got Garrett! That was him! I know it was him! Let's go home." And so you begin the mission by doing canonically or chronologically the series' first trailing sequence, which is a great way to begin a mission. And I kind of appreciate that you fail if you get too far away from them, because like if you lose them, you don't know where the fuck you are, as evidenced by kept away from view in the Black Parade. When you actually get to the Manor, the main reason I remember Assassins is because it was the mission I was playing the night that Family Matters and Meet the Grahams dropped, which I think it was 616 in LA also dropped earlier that day, the Kendrick and Drake tracks. I just remember I was playing Assassins while like, you know, sometimes I'll play games with the volume up, but also with like another screen going, because I don't know, it's like playing Family Guy clips on the side of your game of Subway Surfers. You know, I just need to be stimulated, whatever the fuck. And so I was just remember watching all the reactions to people listening to Meet the Grahams for the first time while also playing Assassins. So it's got a special place in my heart for being, you know, that mission during that time. It's closely associated with a really interesting night in music history. So just a weird connection. But yeah, the mission itself is good. It's good. It's just kind of another Manor and some of the objectives are a little obtuse. I think you gotta find something behind, like you have to cut down a fucking hanging tarp to get to one of the objectives, which is like, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's not as bad as a lot of the other obtuse objectives in later missions. Thieves Guild. Part of me wants to put this in anti-fun, but I think it just belongs in meh, honestly. I think anti-fun is saved for casing the joint and masks. I will say, it's the first one that inches into anti-fun. Thieves Guild is, like, initially, my first hour with the mission, I was like, this is cool. I moved past Assassins into Thieves Guild that same night, while continuing to watch reactions to Family Matters and Meet the Grams. But I picked it up later, you know, the next night and continued. But my first hour with it was fun before I realized how fucking huge it was, and it's proof that you can have too much of a good thing. The mission is too fucking big. It's got too many parts, and too much of it looks the same, and it's just, you know, it's a very occupied space, so it's not like you quickly run out of enemies to avoid, but there's really no hook that necessitates it being so fucking huge, and so, yeah, there's just a lot of it is just not fun. There is some stuff I really like, the premise and the opening area that's like a gambling den that leads into a deeper Thieves Guild built into like the underground of the city, which is like, that's really cool. That's a cool idea. But then it branches out into sewers, and the sewers are so obtuse. You're just pulling levers that open up sewer doors that you can't see, that are just elsewhere, and you're supposed to keep track of like numbers. It's too much. They expect too much of you, I think. I just think it's designed in a way that's too obfuscated. You know, a lot of shit just you don't know where the fuck you are. You don't know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. It's just too goddamn much. Luckily, it's followed up by the sword, which is one of the best missions in the first game. Easily. Kind of want to put it in great, because putting it up there with Jaws of Darkness and Death's Dominion, you know, I'm not sure about it. I never found Tiny Town, though. I never found Little Big Town, or whatever the fuck it's called, which is a whole part of the level that's like an addition that came with Thief Gold that I just didn't get to, which seems like a really fun time. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna put it in best. It's great. It's great. It's a great mission. It is the original version of Where Old Faces Fade, where it's a seemingly standard manor, and as you go deeper and deeper in, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder, all fucking caps, weirder. Narratively, it also does a great job introducing the antagonist of the game, Constantine, the kind of guy you're working for the whole game. That's, you know, an iffy dude, clearly a dangerous man, as evidenced by his weird-ass manner. It's just a level filled with surprises and interesting visuals and a great progression from standard to weird, a great, you know, mid-mission subversion. And there's a whole other portion that I've just never found. A completely optional area that's like where you shrink down to a very small size or you get really big, I think. There's 2 sections to it. It seems completely optional just like for the fun of it, which is... like, that's interesting, to build a whole huge section into a level that's just there to be fun. Serves no real, you know, reward purpose. That's just pure passion. That's just pure design passion. So I think that warrants being in the best category. I'll leave the sword there. Haunted Cathedral. Drop that in good. Haunted Cathedral's good. Like the brand, it's a infiltrate an abandoned district premise. You get to a cathedral, but then you realize you can't get into the cathedral. You need a bunch of fucking stones or some shit, and that's where the next like 6 levels or some shit lead you, and then you come back to the cathedral later. So most of the mission is the abandoned district, which is good. I don't know, there's not a whole lot to say about it, I don't think. It's just a broken down district, buildings are toppled, fun stuff to climb on, occupied by zombies and monsters. So another spooky mission. I love a good spooky mission. I like the horror element of Thief that the Black Parade in particular really leaned into. I love the fantasy part of Thief, which Metal Age kind of disregards and replaces with steampunk in a way. There's still the remnants of it, but you kind of like kill the devil in the first game. So I understand the way they moved to like, oh, the Industrial Revolution starts after that in this world. I love a good spooky Thief mission, and the Haunted Cathedral is a good example of that. A solid example you can point to. The Mage Towers. Oh. This is going anti-fun. I don't like the Mage Towers. I just don't like it. It's too much. It's another example, like Thieves Guild, it's just way too big, way too long, not worth the investment and the payoff you get and the gameplay that is contained within it. Lots of backtracking, lots of kind of stumbling around. Yeah, it's just, you gotta go through 4 separate towers and they're not like particularly interesting. It's like a 4-hour mission if you don't know exactly where you're going. Like, you know, of course, if you know where you're going, you can do it in an hour. But like, first time playthrough, I was just frustrated and confused and just wanted it to end like halfway through. And it just kept going and kept going and kept going. So, yeah. Mage Towers is anti-fun. The Lost City, however, is not anti-fun. The Lost City is very good. Not great, but very good. Playing The Lost City for the first time made me realize, like, oh, this is where Jaws of Darkness comes from, which is very fun, very cool. That was such a cool thing about starting with Black Parade and then going back to Gold and Metal Age, is seeing all the influence and where certain types of missions come from. Like Death's Dominion is a Bonehoard-like. Jaws of Darkness is like a Lost City sort of thing. Where Old Faces Fade is a play on the sword. Trial of Iron is a play on fucking Undercover, or Sabotage at Soulforge, or Eavesdropping, a church mission. So it was cool playing the Lost City and seeing that sort of take, a more adventurous mission. Not so much about the thief experience, but more about like platforming, avoiding crazy creatures, kind of, you know, by the seat of your pants, running through an area and Indiana Jonesing it. That was a cool subversion, cool different take on the kind of formula, a different type of mission. Song of the Caverns. Song of the Caverns is great. That's a fucking great mission. It starts out with you going through like some tunnels, kind of standard under the city, outside the city stuff, but then it quickly twists, takes a hard left turn into you being in an opera house. And the opera house is so good. It's one of the best mission environments of the first game, and dare I say the whole trilogy that we're discussing right now. It's so big, it's so, like, it feels so real, the layout of it. It feels like such a real place, with an underground storage area, with places for people to practice, places for in-house actors and actresses. There's also a lot of really funny dialogue. It's a funny mission. It's a surprisingly funny mission. People practicing for the play, people gossiping about other people. Yeah, one of the things about Thief that is like, it's a smaller element, but it's like, it can be really funny. Like the NPC interactions, there's one NPC interaction in the second game during Life of the Party. They're like 2 groups of guards that work across the street from each other, that work for like, they're on 2 rooftops on the sides of a street. One group works for a guy and the other group works for a lady. And they get in an argument and they all end up killing each other. And it's like such a great bit of NPC dialogue, like in late 90s, early 2000s, hammy video game acting. And the Song of the Caverns is full of little conversations that you can stumble upon and eavesdrop on like that. So it gives the mission a lot of character in what is already packed with character, just through the environment choice and the way the environment is executed. Great size, great pacing, great character, great level design. It's great. It's super good. The more I'm talking about it, the more I kind of want to put it in best. But there's just a little bit of something. It doesn't have that undeniable it factor that the sword has, you know. But it's close. It's inching up. It's sticking its little toe into the best category. Undercover is next. Undercover is, I kind of want to put it in great. Kind of want to put it in good. If I don't immediately feel like I need to put it in great, then I feel like I should leave it in good. I feel like that's the way that this has to work. You know, if I don't immediately have a stronger leaning towards the better version of the 2 tiers it could land in, then I gotta put it in the lower one. But Undercover is very good. It's a church mission. It's a very solid church mission. You go in, it's one of those, it's like a Dishonored, Lady Boyle's Last Party, where you are dressed up as a Hammerite novice. It's so different gameplay-wise. As long as you don't go in the wrong areas or tip your hand as not a Hammerite novice, you can maintain your cover. And that's really cool. And the environment is very well done, super detailed, feels lived in. But the objective, in order to open the gate that you need to open to get the thing you're there for, you have to activate 5 switches. And they are the most hidden switches ever. I would not have ever found those switches if I didn't look online to find them. I would have been in that mission for another 4 hours. They're so deeply hidden in corners, under awnings, behind fucking pedestals that you can just barely see past. Like, it's insane. It's designed by a madman. So yeah, I gotta leave it in good. Despite the great premise and the solid level design, it is a victim of what happens to a lot of Thief missions, which is the great level design is undone by bad mission design, by bad objective design. It would be in great if it wasn't for the super obtuse placement of the switches, and I don't even know if I ever found a note that specifically indicated the switches. Like, I looked around for so long. That's probably on me. I just didn't find what I needed to find. And maybe it was even given to you at the beginning of the mission. I don't remember. I played this like 2 or 3 months ago. But yeah, just that whole switch objective was just frustrating. Return to the Cathedral. I'm gonna put this in best. I had a lot of fucking fun with this mission. I think it's really, really good. I think the objective design is contrasting Undercover. I think the objective design is much clearer. It's still open enough to where you have to figure out where to go and what to pick up, really. I mean, not even what to pick up, but just where to go, where to find that thing. But the mission is condensed enough, and the way the objective is given to you and stated to you is clear enough to where it doesn't become frustrating. It holds your hand just enough to not become fucking confusing as shit. And the environment is so good. The cathedral itself is so awesome. Brother Manus or some shit. There's a ghost that leads you through the mission. And I love him. I love that guy. Oh, hello. Welcome.
I see that thou hast all of the items we need to perform the ritual of consecration. Meet me at my grave in the cemetery.
He's such a... The acting is so exaggerated and so hammy, and he's a great companion to have throughout the mission. I don't know where I put my candle. and so yeah, you have to help this ghost get laid to rest so he can help you out, give you what you need. That whole structure I think is really great, really solid, and the design of the area is, it's a great synergy of level design and mission design. One of the best. Also another horror mission. I love that shit. Escape. Escape is definitely meh. Escape is a hard meh. Escape might even be anti-fun, because like the mission is just, I'm gonna put it in meh for now. Maybe I'll talk myself into anti-fun. What it is basically a mission where you just have to fucking run. Like, you can sneak, but at that point in the story, what's happened is you've been betrayed by a demon, basically. You just have to get out of the place that you're in, the place that you got betrayed in. I got caught pretty quick. I think maybe you can sneak by all these people, but the level design is very constrictive, very claustrophobic, lots of tight hallways with no ways of going around, above, or past enemies in your way. So I just ended up running through the whole level and doing the traditional Thief Guild jump faster and faster and faster, like speedrunning tactic that I just figured out on my own, because you can just fucking blast by people. So yeah, and especially with the exclamation point at the end of the title, escape. To me, it feels like it was a mission built to be like a run from the monsters kind of thing. Kind of fun twist on the regular formula, but also not enough there. Strange Bedfellows. I think that might also go in meh, because it's a return to the church grounds of Undercover, but then you go beneath the church. It's been attacked by demons. It's kind of fun. It's like, I don't know. I really liked the initial part where you go through the old cathedral of Undercover and see it. A bunch of dead Hammerites. Oh my god, the place is blasted the fuck up. Doors are knocked down. Like, the whole environment has been changed, which is a super cool surprise and change. Otherwise, the rest of the mission, once you go underneath, it kind of feels like Escape again. It's like the enemy patrols are so tight and so intense and so numerous that I don't know. It's just a little funky, you know. It feels not super balanced, I guess is the word. The premise itself is interesting, and you end up having to like work with the Hammerites, which I think is fun. Definitely not anti-fun, but not what I would really say is good. Like it's one that's kind of straddling between good and meh, straddling between two tiers. I wouldn't be opposed to putting it in good, but I'm not feeling that strongly enough, so I'm gonna keep it in meh. Into the Maw of Chaos, final mission of Thieves Guild. I know a lot of people kind of are iffy on this one because it's pretty linear, but I'm gonna put it in good. I think it's fun. I think it's visually, it's super interesting. It's different than the whole game. You're basically like in hell. And I think that alone is enough to carry it as the finale. You know, the MSIM curse of the bad final level is in full effect throughout all of Thief. Less so with the next one we'll talk about, the next finale mission, but I think Maw of Chaos is like, it's good for what it is, which is clearly linear, clearly the narrative finale, and in filling that role, it gives you a bunch of cool visuals, gives you a great ending for the villain that the Black Parade just completely steals. It does the exact same thing, where you have to do some shit with his little ritual and fuck up his ritual. I think it's good. I think it's fun. I think it's just carried by the experiential intensity of running through hell, sliding down big, you know, ramps and caverns and seeing huge crystals and lava rivers and demons all over the place, and like yeah, it's interesting and it's fun. I'm gonna give Maw of Chaos a good. It's a good. And here we are in Thief 2: The Metal Age, which I just finished last night. So this shit is fresh in my mind. I probably started it like a month ago, and I've kind of been trying to savor it as I go through it. I don't want to like rush through it and finish it too fast, but I finally did. And so let's just start with Running Interference, the first mission in the game. I think Running Interference is good. Running Interference is a very solid start to a very fucking solid game. It teaches you the essentials. It's much more of a tutorial than Thieves Guild ever gave you. It gives you like actual tutorial prompts, how to do shit in red text, which is, you know, appreciative. I am appreciative of that. As a mission, it's pretty straightforward, pretty standard, but like that's what you want to start out your game. That's what you want to give people the impression of what the core of the game is, and Running Interference certainly does that. It's also got Garrett like doing a good deed, which I think is fun. It's like proves that Garrett is becoming a bit of a better, less selfish person than he was portrayed as in Thieves Guild. Story-wise, it's a nice progression, a nice bit of character development. And the mansion itself is pretty solid. Like, it's a great level just purely from a level design perspective. And I like the objective of clearing out a path through it so that later you can call your dude with a little like whistle that you whistle at him from a distance, and then you and him take that route again through the mansion. You assist him in rescuing his lady love through the path that you cleared earlier, which is like great. That's good mission design right there. That's good mission design in tandem with good level design. So again, another straddler, might be in great, but I'm gonna put it in good because it doesn't like really blow me away. Shipping and receiving, however, I think I might put it in best. Shipping and receiving is fucking sick as hell. This is like the mission where I knew, like, oh, Thieves Guild or Thief the Metal Age is really kicking it up a notch, because this level is huge. It's got a great objective premise of you opening various garage doors at this shipping and receiving storage facility. It's just like filled with so much optional stuff. But it makes you want to explore the optional stuff with great notes that are littered around. You learn about the relationships of the people in the shipping facility, what they're keeping, what their secrets are, what their lives are like, all alongside the actual mission premise of looking for a specific mechanist thing. It's got everything. It's got everything you need. Moving on to Framed, the police station mission. I kind of want to put this in best too, but I'm going to put it in great. I think, putting it next to Song of the Caverns is Like, it makes sense to me. That feels right. Framed, as I said, is a police station infiltration mission, and the police station, again, like, the perfect size, the perfect replayable size, filled with so many alternate routes, so many hidden passages, and a great objective of needing to rob the evidence vault and then put that evidence in a particular officer's place to frame him and steal a bunch of shit while you're doing it. So, like, great mission premise, great location, like a police station that's super cool, and to get a little bit more of a look at, like, I don't know, just the inner workings of the police in the city, the guard, the night watch. I really enjoyed Framed. Thief 2 really kicks off with a series of fucking fantastic missions. Like, it's banger, 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 banger for like a half of the game, basically, just straight. Ambush, I really liked Ambush too. I don't want to put it in great, really, because it doesn't, like, blow my mind like Framed. I'm gonna put it in good, but it's a really solid good. It's better than Maw of Chaos, Undercover, but I don't know, it fits with this list. I think it's a city mission, like Return to the City from Black Parade. You're running through the alleys and streets of the city, and it's so cool to see, because now I'd played the Black Parade, which turns the city into such a rich, dense, detailed, lived-in take on a city. It makes it feel so real and so properly scaled and, realized. And then I went to Thieves Guild, and it's like their city is like a facsimile of a city done in 1998. Of course, it's like it doesn't have a lot of scope. You don't explore. The levels aren't huge in that regard. There's not a huge city level where you're exploring a lot of the streets. Environment is made up of like hard right angles. It feels very video gamey. So going from Black Parade to Gold was like a really hard turn from 2023 to 1998. And then Ambush in Metal Age is like a great in-between, where like the city feels much more realized than it ever did in Gold, but still not nearly as much as it is in Black Parade. But it's like really cool to see Looking Glass starting to further chip away at what the city really looks like day to day, street to street. And I think that's just really fun to explore. I think it's like I don't know, riveting to walk through this very real feeling city, and to see it feel more real than it ever did in Gold. It's a really big, really huge like chunk of the city. It feels like a county almost that you're just like running from cops in. I liked Ambush quite a bit. Eavesdropping is another church mission that I'm gonna put in good. It just doesn't inch up to great. It just doesn't inch up into there as much as I want it to, because I really do like Eavesdropping. It's super cool seeing like basically a Hammerite church from Undercover or Trial of Iron get turned into a mechanist cathedral. Like you're looking at a religion that has been broken off into sects, basically, at this point. You're seeing a new sect of the Hammerites, a newly born steampunk sect of the builder-based religion. So that's just for that. It absolutely belongs in good. It's interesting narratively, and the mission itself is pretty good. The level design of the chapel, the church, is great. Is there anything I really feel about this mission that's like wrong? Like I feel like I was just a little frustrated because I just personally just happened to be having a little bit of a harder time with this mission. I think I'm gonna put it in great. I think I am, because the level design is great. Mission design is pretty fucking solid, with you having to listen in on a conversation and then go into the church and find some particular thing, make a mold of a key, which is like a kind of interesting, different thing to do, with your time. It's always nice to have a weird, multifaceted objective like that, as long as it doesn't get too complicated, like Sabotage at Soulforge. Played that last night, got a lot of feelings on it, but I like the objective in Eavesdropping where you have to make a special key out of a wax mold. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in great. I think it was really good. And it's kind of your first experience, I think, with Karis, the main villain of Metal Age. It's a solid one. First City Bank and Trust. That has to go in great. I feel like a lot of people would put it in the best. And maybe it... No. Because of the basement. Overall, First City Bank and Trust is like a top tier immersive sim level. You always, with an immersive sim, you always want a bank level. You just always want it, because it's so cool, it's so fun, it's such a fantasy to infiltrate a bank and rob it blind. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, or is it Human Revolution or Mankind Divided? I think it's Mankind Divided that has its own bank level, and that was fucking awesome. And this, I feel like this is kind of like the original immersive sim bank level, and it's still top tier to this day, 20 years later, 25 years later almost. The design of the bank itself is so real. It feels just like such a real place. The guards have some really funny dialogue. They don't want to be there. It's very late. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to actually enter the bank initially. The objectives are great, except for, and this is the thing that keeps it out of the best tier, is there's a basement, and you have to go into the basement to unlock the vault, which is your main objective. And the basement is just deeply unexciting. It's like the rest of the level is so good, and the basement is just like hallways and offshoot rooms that have nothing in them, just like 4 walls and a nothing. Yeah, that's like the one thing that kneecaps this mission from being one of the best in the franchise. And it is still one of the best in the franchise, despite that kind of glaring flaw of the basement section. Maybe it deserves to be in best. I think it kind of does, but I'm going to put it in great for now. Just know that this one's tough. Blackmail. Blackmail's good. Blackmail's good. I'm fine with Blackmail. I think a lot of people like it. I just think, like, the first floor, I don't know if there's some way to get past it that I just couldn't figure out. There probably is. That's the way these games work. But I spent, like, a long time on that first floor trying to figure out a way to get upstairs, and I just didn't manage to. And then I realized that I could just go back out to where I came in, which is I looped around the back of the manor as you can, by sneaking through a little broken hole in the facade. You know, I snuck around the side and then through the back, and there's a courtyard at the back of the Blackmail Manor where you can literally just shoot a rope arrow and get to the 3rd floor like immediately, or at least the 2nd floor, and that just skips over the whole 1st floor that I had spent like an hour trying to figure out, and ending up getting kind of like a little frustrated by. And so just to have that skip there so blatantly apparent just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of soured me on it. I don't know. And otherwise it's not that special, I don't think, as a mission, as a space. It's another manor. It's one of like 10 manors in this franchise, maybe more. Thief loves its manors, its mansions, and its manses, and this is just like another one with a frustrating first floor, but a cool, you know, kind of endpoint where it's a great twist to where you're infiltrating to talk to a character, and then right as you get to where they are, a guard runs past you and says, "They're dead! They've been killed!" And I thought that was a really great subversive moment where it's like, oh, my objective has completely changed. Now I need to investigate a dead body and a crime scene. So that's really cool. That's a cool bit of mission design. Trace the Courier. It's like I want to put it in anti-fun, but I didn't hate it. Like, it's just filler. It's just clearly filler. I don't want to put it in anti-fun because I liked following the people. You know, I had my fun with it. Trail of Blood. Trail of Blood is good. It's interesting. You're doing a little bit of dimension hopping, a little bit of dimension jumping, which I think is fun. Always, interesting to get into the magic element of the Thief world. I think it's cool, like, to see the pagans in their home environment, their natural habitat. Like a pagan village in the woods is something that we hadn't seen up to this point. We'd always just heard about the pagans, really, and not really directly seen what a pagan culture looks like day to day, where they live, how do they live. And Trail of Blood exemplifies that, shows it off, and I think it's really interesting. It really made me hate the Mechanists, because the Mechanists went through and massacred a village of what I assume were at least somewhat innocent pagans. There were children there, dude. The fucking Mechanists were killing children. And so it immediately made me sympathize with the pagans, which is important for the rest of the game's plot. And it made me, and also just interesting because I'd never sympathized with them before because they'd never really been shown to be normal people. You'd never seen them on screen like they're portrayed in Trail of Blood. So yeah, it just makes me sympathize with them and empathize with them as a culture and a people in a really interesting way. So that's just sick. And it also made me hate the mechanists more than I ever had. Like, genuinely, like, oh, I need to end these guys. They are killing people, and they are merciless, and they need to be stopped. And you get some of the monkey demons, some of the monkey pagan demons. I love the monkeys. The forest environment is admittedly quite cool. It's good. It's a hard good, though. It's a upper good. Life of the party. Life of the party's going in great, because Life of the Party is great. It's a huge fucking mission. Perhaps a little too huge when you get to the building that is pictured in its thumbnail right here. It begins with a great stretch of you running on the Thieves Highway, which is just the rooftops of the city. That could be a mission unto itself. That whole section, the rooftop section, that could be a whole mission. And it's just the fucking prelude. And then you get to the actual, like, this is like the central church. No, wait, actually, this is Karis's mansion, isn't it? Fuzzy memory here. I've played so many of these goddamn missions. And also the story of Metal Age is so kind of bouncing all over the place that it's hard to recall. This location, it's huge. It's like a fucking 6-story giant, it's like a skyscraper. And yeah, it's massive. The scale is so impressive. It becomes less impressive once you realize that a lot of the floors are just packed with kind of filler. A lot of the rooms are kind of empty. A lot of the floors don't really have a whole lot interesting stuff going on. Still, the scale is overwhelming and interesting, and the objectives are good enough. The objectives are finding basically one thing on every floor and listening to a record play some recordings from Karis. The mission design is like good enough to carry you through that large environment without it becoming frustrating in how overwhelming it is size-wise. And then the mission ends with you having to run back. I didn't think I would have to run back across all of those rooftops again. And initially, as I escaped this giant building, got outside of it, and I didn't receive the mission complete screen, I was like, what? Wait, I gotta go back through all those rooftops? That took me 45 minutes. But then it subverts it, it twists it, it changes it to where the rooftops are now all occupied by mechanists who are after you. It changes the whole feel of the journey back through those rooftops, which you previously kind of snuck through. I kind of like ran through them, running from the mechanists who were all after they're after my ass. I think that was a great, solid way to end it. Like, it was really exciting. All right, home stretch, Precious Cargo. This, I think I'm gonna put it in best. It probably belongs in great. I don't think there's going to be any more that land in best from here on out. But Precious Cargo is the last one that I just kind of want to put it in there because, I mean, it's great. It's got so many different, like, layers. And now, I could be wrong here. It begins up top in the rain with a lighthouse. And then you start delving further into some caves, and then, and then you get to the underground, which is like an underground mechanist kind of lab or encampment. You discover that they are building a fucking submarine, which, now that I'm thinking about it, doesn't lead to anything at all. Yeah, what the fuck was the point of the submarine? You go somewhere with it. You go to the Lost City with it. That's right. Okay, that must be where you go. Okay, but yeah, it's just a cool reveal that the mechanists have built something as advanced as a fucking submarine. A ship that sails underwater, as Garrett says. I love the fact that there are special enemies here, special, like, diver's suit wearing enemies. It's always great to have a different, skinned enemy. Even if they behave the same as kind of standard guard AI. Overall, great mission premise, great flow, and kind of, arc of going from location to location to location to getting to the final location. And then, on top of all that good shit, which is all good shit consistently, the extra little flourish, the extra optional flourish of there being a sunken pirate ship buried nearby to where they're working on the submarine, and you find the pirate ship, steal the loot from the pirate ship, and fight the ghost pirate captain in a sword duel. Totally optional. Sick as hell. How anybody could not love this mission, I don't understand. It's so cool. It's got so many things going for it. It's just really fucking good. So I am going to very subjectively put Precious Cargo in the best tier. And it is the last great Thief 2 mission before you get 4 missions in a row at the end that are kind of all sort of not good. Kidnap. Kidnap is a return to the Lost City, which I was initially very excited about, but ended up by the end not enjoying it very much at all. I don't know, it doesn't have the flavor of the original Lost City or even close to Jaws of Darkness. It feels like they're retrofitting the Lost City's environment to kind of just be another normal thief mission, and the environment stays the same the whole time. The Lost City is such a cool idea, and it doesn't do a lot visually with that idea, not as much as the original mission does. To be fair, I didn't explore all of this mission's space. There's a whole kind of southwestern section of the map that I didn't really explore because I found the guy I was looking for pretty quickly. The whole objective premise of the mission is to find a guy who's doing his rounds, around the Lost City that has been built up by the Mechanists to do some shit. I don't really remember. The story of Thief 2 is all fucking over the place. Again, just to clarify that. It kind of makes no sense. You're looking for a guy. I found him pretty quickly on like the 3rd out of 8 or 9 chunks of the map. So I just knocked him out, grabbed him, dipped out. And even then, even at that point in the mission, like I felt like I'd spent too much time there. It just wasn't super exciting. Casing the joint. It's not anti-fun, because on first playthrough, I thought it was an interesting idea to have a mission be building out your map of a place when it's less occupied, before in the next mission coming back to that place with the map that you built out and drew yourself through exploration in the previous mission. In essence, that is a cool idea. In execution, it is terrible, because you overuse what is already a kind of standard issue thief mansion across Casing the Joint and Masks. Like, it's not a particularly great layout, and it's just, you play it one time, it's not super interesting, then you play it again, and it just becomes frustrating, and even less interesting because you've already seen most of it. Part of me wants to put Masks in anti-fun, and I feel like that might be a little controversial, but I'm putting it there because Casing the Joint undercuts it completely, and all they do is just add some more of the fucking, the Children of Chaos robots, which I don't think are good enemies, honestly. The big ones, the lumbering ones that shoot the bombs at you, they offer, like, no challenge. They're slow as hell. They throw bombs at you that you can easily avoid. They're just dumb enemies. They're just, like, stopping blocks that get in your way. And they just put a bunch of those there. There's some traps that aren't particularly exciting in some 3rd floor rooms. I don't know, you're just going through an environment you've already gone through and just doing it again. But the mission is held back, again, by just really annoying mission design. The 2 main objectives, one of them is just looking for a note. And the note has to be found by, like, going through a library and finding a bunch of hidden books and reading the 5 hidden books and dispelling a ghost, and then suddenly the note appears upstairs in the library, and it's just so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I never would have figured that fucking shit out. I really wouldn't have. It's the perfect example of the thief objective that is just too obtuse for its own good. Too tucked away to the point where it's like, just go fuck yourself. I'm not having fun here. I would have never figured this out if I didn't just look shit up, and when I have to look shit up, it breaks the immersion. I always try to look around for my objective for at least like an hour in these missions, and sometimes I find them, and sometimes I don't. In the times when I don't find the objective, it's when the frustration kicks in, and it's when the anti-fun comes to life. And Masks has not 1, but 2 anti-fun mission objectives. One being the whole ghost fucking bullshit, and the second being the loot goal. which is something I haven't mentioned for any of these missions, but it's, some missions, let's say like 70% of thief missions have a loot goal, which is, steal 700 golds worth of goods before you leave. And that's a mandatory objective. Just something to do as you peruse towards your main objective. And normally it's fine. Like, it's just, it's good. It's great, actually. It's great design. It just emphasizes exploration, rewards it, mandates it, and that just gets you more familiar with the world and the environment you're living in the moment. So loot goals are a good thing. Masks has a loot goal of 1,400. And I scoured this mansion. I had to play this mission for an extra fucking hour to hit that loot goal after I'd already accomplished the main non-loot goals. I should have just been able to fucking leave. But the loot goal is so high. It's higher than any other loot goal in any of these missions as far as I know. And if it's not, it's way on the upper tier. There's just not a lot of gold. There's not a lot of shit to collect. I mean, there is a lot of shit to collect, but you have to go. I scoured the top floor, I scoured the second floor, and I scoured the first floor. And to the point where I had explored every part of the fucking space, but I just was revisiting old places to try to find one extra fucking thing. Just desperately searching rooms that I'd been in twice, 3 times before, looking for something I'd missed. And that's so not fun. That's so dragging out the experience and putting extra bullshit in for bullshit's sake. It adds extra filler to a mission that already feels like it's built on filler. So I think Masks is just straight anti-fun, despite having an alright, B tier mansion design in terms of just the pure level design. So yeah, I did not enjoy Masks one fucking bit. All right, here we are. Last mission. It's been a journey. Sabotage at Soulforge, the final mission of Metal Age. I'm gonna put it in good, which I think most people would either put it in meh or bad or top tier. It seems like one of those missions that you either love or you hate, or like you either love it and love to replay it, or you hate it and never even finished it. Because the lead up to the mission with fucking Masks, Casing the Joint, and Kidnap, that's 3 subpar missions in a row, and to get to one that is divisive after all that is like, I can totally understand a player just dropping the game at that point. Like, honestly, just being like, fuck it, I almost beat it, I don't care, I'm gonna go play something else. But I enjoyed Sabotage at Soulforge. I think it's a huge mission, and I think it's a really strong mix of the 2 key components of thief design, which is mission design, objective design, and level design. The level design is so clearly built around a very bold, strong, objective premise, which is a 2-part thing, which is you have to build something with various parts, putting various parts through various machines in the first half of the level, and the second half of the level is exploring a huge part of this factory and pulling some switches, pulling 5 out of 8 switches. You can choose any 5 of the 8 that exist in the back half of this giant factory, and you just gotta pull them. And so each of those parts, I think, are cool. Part 1, making the object. Part 2, pulling the switches. I think they're both very well designed and very interesting and different from any other mission on this whole list. The first part has you grabbing pieces from storage rooms all around the first part of the cathedral, because it's a cathedral and it's a factory. It's the Mechanist's ultimate cathedral, the Soulforge, which is a great name for a church factory. Of course, them being the Mechanists, their place of ultimate worship is going to be a factory. And it's a great combination of those 2 very different things. Point is, part 1, you put a bunch of pieces through various machines, and you got to find the machines in the proper bays, and you got to get the right ingredients, and you got to figure out how the machines work, and you got to get them to work, and it's lengthy. It takes a long time, but it's pretty straightforward. It's again just obtuse enough in its execution. It gives you the whole formula of how you need to do the things, but then you need to figure out and execute each step in the formula. And I thought that was fun. I thought it was interesting. And then part 2 of the mission is a series of almost like challenge rooms, where it's like the whole back half, the upper apse, I think is what it's called, of the church of the Soulforge, is just a huge factory, and every switch out of the 8, you have to pull 5, and all 8 of the switches are in their own corner of the map, and they're their own isolated pocket challenge. Each switch is hidden in a room or an area that has its own unique layout, its own unique guard pathing, its own unique kind of platforming or stealth challenges. It's just really interesting. It's a really like compelling mission setup, despite it being really long and really engrossing, really like just difficult. It's a difficult, lengthy, arduous mission. But I think that works, and I think there's no real points of like distinct frustration here. I understand how people could become frustrated because it is a little bit of that, too much of a good thing, 3-4 hour mission to round out the game. But I liked it. I think, as a finale to this big trilogy that I've played of Black Parade, Gold, and Metal Age, like, I was happy to have a super giant mission at the end of it. And to see the end of Karis and really give that motherfucker what was coming to him, I thought it was, it proved to be Garrett's, like, ultimate challenge. And despite it having its, failings of being a little too big, a little too complicated, a little too long, I think it was good. It belongs right in that good category, right with Into the Maw of Chaos. Wow, are all... Okay, yeah, so, wow, that's interesting. I was just looking at all the final missions. Into the Maw of Chaos, Soulforge, and Black Parade. I put Black Parade's final mission below the other two, which is interesting because, like, I did my first pass on all the Black Parade missions. I was kind of judging them on their own merits. Just isolated, how do they compare to the overall experience of Black Parade, and not how they compare to Gold and Metal Age. But, like, honestly, having Black Parade below all these other missions is kind of weird, because, like, everything about the Black Parade, if we're being real, like, all missions in Black Parade go in best, and everything from all the other games goes in a tier below them. The Black Parade is on a different level. But I just tried to keep things balanced, tried to just go based on not comparison, but just how it made me feel, how much I enjoyed it in a vacuum, each mission. That's the tier list. That's 3 fucking Thief games. That's like 7 months of my fucking life right here on this little screen. 100 hours at least of Thief, and I hope to get at least 100 more out of T2X, which is another Metal Age fan mod of the scale of the Black Parade. Seems like made in like 2005. I started that last night and I'm already having a lot of fun with it. I'm already so impressed. It's got 3D cutscenes. The fucking people for T2X built 3D cutscenes. They have mission briefings like the original Thief. Like oh my god, the quality of T2X so far has been amazing. And then I have other fan missions. Past that, there's a litany, hundreds of fan missions by amazing level designers, game designers, and artists. And I still have to play Deadly Shadows, the actual 3rd Thief game. I have that too. And I have the Dark mod, which is a whole game unto itself. Was originally going to be, I think, either a Thief remake or an unofficial Thief sequel made in the Doom 3 engine. But it eventually just became its own standalone project. And it's not an official Thief game. It's not set in the city. It's, plays Garrett. It's not like, legally, I don't think they could do that. But it is a Thief game. Like, 100%. If you look at it, you just immediately see it. It's got the water arrows. It's got the rope arrows. It's got the exact same. It's got the blackjack. It is Thief. Legally distinct Thief by, like, a literal hair. That's its own Thief game unto itself. And then the Dark mod also has fan missions. So I don't think I'm going to run out of Thief material anytime soon, and I'm so excited about that because I am just such a huge fan now of this franchise. Like I love it. I'm such a huge Thief fan. Someday I am planning on making a Thief video. I hope I can do it. If I'm going to do it, it's going to take like 6 months. It's going to take like half a year. I'm just going to dedicate like months and months to making a video basically about the Black Parade and then Gold and Metal Age. But I always say these things and then I don't do them, so don't take my word for it. Just wait till you see it, if you ever do see it. In the meantime, I think you should go play some Thief, and I think you should start with the Black Parade, because it is one of the greatest stealth games ever made, and will lead you on a wonderful journey through the incredible franchise that is Thief. So, get to it.